Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Hot for Justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
I'm Envy Jitters.
And I'm CheerandCosplay.
And we're back with more anime, more stuff to talk about. We recently finished Murka Month, but we needed to stay just a little bit Murkin for a little bit while we went into video games. And since this is video game month, we thought we'd start with a game that we actually have played, and is now adapted into an anime, but also is kind of Murka, but also not. So Ace Attorney, that makes the most sense, right?
In a way.
Japanifornia.
Now, they say that they're straight up in Japan in this anime, but we all know. We all know. So, who's seen this? We've all clearly played the game at this point. But who's seen this?
Are we counting?
Yeah,
Are
like,
we-
what do you mean, like...
Has
Are we
anyone...
counting...
Okay, you watched this for this podcast, for sure. Have you seen it previously to this?
Like, first episode.
Okay. Anyone else?
I watched a good bit of it while I was playing the game because, like, playing it, I was hyper fixating to the point where playing the game wasn't enough.
You're having that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was watching the show, but I caught up to the point where I was in the game.
Okay.
So I haven't seen all of it, but I saw a good chunk.
Just as a general idea, how much fan fiction were you reading at the time?
Oh, so much.
Okay, that makes sense. That tracks.
There's one that is so, like, ingrained in my brain that every time I hear,
Objection?
oh god. No. I can't think of it now, but there's an Aerosmith song. Every time it comes on, I'm like, really, Mr. Right? Aerosmith? Because of one certain
I could
fanfic,
run
but-
through Aerosmith's discography right now, but I think this is Patreon content too early.
Yes.
The one about,
Is it from Armageddon?
I don't know album names.
That's a movie.
Don't Want to Miss You Thing.
Oh,
Don't
The
wanna
one
miss
from
it.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
I haven't
That's
seen
like-
Armageddon.
I was about to be like, it's on the list, but like, does it need to be?
I mean, just assume everything is on the list.
Yeah, but it's a Michael Bay movie that's not The Rock.
I don't think we need it.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of fun, schlocky kind of stuff. Either case, anyone else experience with this, or should we get into it?
Yeah, I had watched it like a few years ago with my younger cousin
Yeah.
because he asked if we could watch it.
I was expecting you to have seen this, being that you're the one who introduced us to the game.
Yeah, you would think so, but I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to go over plot at all here, because it's literally the game.
It's the same.
And if you haven't... Look, we did a whole, 98 episode playthrough of the entirety of the first game. So it's that, but faster.
We could just say it gets to the middle of the second case.
Yeah.
much, yeah.
So first episode's the intro tutorial section where you get Larry off, and then
What?
You get Larry off. A lot of people are going to get off in this. I mean, Phoenix and Edgeworth get off all the time with each other. You know that's true. You've read the fan fiction. Anyway, the first one's with Larry, and then the second one is after, spoilers, Mia gets murdered, and then, a number of people are accused of it, from Maya to Phoenix to probably a couple other people later down the line. I'm kidding. I think they're the only two accused. But in either case, that's about where episode 3 drops off, is when Phoenix gets accused, and he's thrown in jail.
Yeah, I watched episode 4. It ended that case, so I just figured I might as well just finish episode 4 and finish off that arc.
That makes sense to me. How many episodes is this?
It's 26 episodes for the first season. The first 13 episodes recaps the first game.
Okay.
The second 13 does the second game, and then the entire second season, which is like 24 episodes, covers the third game.
Okay. I mean, based on the pacing that I've seen so far, makes sense to me. So, I guess overall, what did we think? This is an interesting thing, because it's like we're intimately aware of what this plot is and the characters and everything else, and now it's like, well, it's a bit of a rehash, but it's also like, how do we think they did?
I think for me...
I will say... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you go.
No, go ahead.
One of you go. You sons of bitches.
For me, I would say I thought it was a decent adaptation in terms of story, characters, and voice acting, but I will be lying if I said I didn't think the animation was subpar. because it's very, very subpar.
They used all of the animation budget just to make the courtroom look pretty. We all know this.
Where'd the animation budget go for the peanut gallery though? Did anyone else notice the CGI monsters
CGI.
from
Yeah.
Hell?
So scary.
Yeah.
Not great, but
Yeah, to me, it's just like, I think playing the game is a much better experience. It just like feels more intense and like satisfying and like more fun. I feel like it's kind of not as interesting to watch it as it is to play it. And I honestly just feel like it just dulls the whole experience a little bit. And otherwise, like, I mean, the story and the plot and the characters are good because they're exactly the same as the game. But it's just like, then you might as well just play the game because it's like so much better. And I really love the game, and I just felt like this was not quite as enjoyable. Like, it was just a lesser version of the game. And I agree, like, I didn't really like the animation or anything. I just think the game looks a lot better. And it's like, you can see them mimicking like the facial expressions and stuff, but it's just like, I just didn't really enjoy it very much. And they didn't really do anything creative or fun with the shots or anything. Like, it just felt kind of dull and lifeless. So I just think, like, if you want to get into Ace Attorney, just play the game. Like, I don't think there's any reason to watch this unless you do just, like, love it. So, like, you're hyper fixated and you want to like it, you know, like Cece. But, and that's great. But I feel like if you want to, like, an introduction to it, I think the game is, like, way better.
I'm kind of wondering how often that thought is going to come up this whole month. You know,
Just play the game.
Yeah, just play the game.
or if you're hyper fixating like Cece.
I'd do both, but
Do both simultaneously. It's the closest you can get to a blood drip.
I will say I definitely really agree where I definitely think that in comparison to the game that this is like more of a maybe a subpar experience. I will say though, I'm going to give a couple caveats for people who don't necessarily own the systems that the games are on. Granted, they are also on Steam, but some people like might not be willing to shell out money for video games, and this is a more accessible experience for them. Also because the games are text-based, you're doing a lot of reading, and for people who have like dyslexia or like just have a really hard time processing words, watching an anime and listening to a dub, or like if they were Japanese and they were listening to it like just in Japanese, like this was probably a more accessible experience for them in that regard as well. But yeah, I definitely think that in comparison, like playing the game is definitely like a more hands-on and interesting experience, and you're trying to figure things out instead of just watching it.
So question, because we played it on the channel and I've never played it outside of the channel, can it be fully voiced or is that not an option?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of accessibility, if you want a completely free way to experience this game without having to buy the game or watch this on Crunchyroll or pirate it because you might have some moral qualms about that, we have 98 episodes of us playing this game. And not all of it's great, but a lot of it is silly funny.
I mean, I will say I did mention earlier that I liked the voice cast they got, but I will admit my bias was going through where it's like I kind of miss Columbo, Phoenix, and over the top smug Edgeworth. I mean, he is smug, but not Gav's Edgeworth.
Yeah.
One of my biggest issues with this was Maya's voice. I'm like, this is just a child.
Yeah, she's a little bit
It sounds so
annoying,
weird.
I mean, she is only like, what, 15, 16?
Something around
Something
there.
like that.
Old enough to be tried as an adult, I think. I don't know.
in Japan,
But it's Japanifornia. How do we know?
I don't think whatever I did with Phoenix really compares to the voice actor who did Trunks.
That was pretty good.
Who is playing Phoenix right now. I'm a Trunks fan, so I'm going to give him points for that one.
What about that guy at the end? That pink, purple hair guy?
Red White, villain number 2 of the
That
overall
guy was
series.
giving his all.
Oh yeah. Hey, do you guys know who voiced him?
No.
Wishbone.
I actually have the voice cast up right now.
Did you guys watch Wishbone on PBS?
Yes.
Years and years ago.
Red White is Wishbone.
Ah.
Oh, did you watch the dub?
Yeah, I watched the
the
dub. Are
sub
you
for
kidding
once.
Are you kidding me? Of course I watched the dub. I love the funny
I
shit.
didn't know there was a dub.
Oh, dude, there's
So-
always a dub.
You just go to the settings little gear thing in Crunchyroll and just toggle it to English.
Bro, you
Listen, I am not paying for Crunchyroll.
I know.
then
I
pirate
know.
it like I do.
I did, but
I gotta be real
some
with
of the sites only offer dub or sub.
you missed out because Gumshoe is voiced by Lad Russo and he is perfect. No notes.
Yeah, maybe I have to go back.
Yeah. We can't escape Brooklyn accents on this podcast for the last
Nope.
couple weeks. I do like the dude doing Gumshoe and then doing an impression of the girl at the... That might have been my favorite line.
Mm.
As far as the whole thing goes, though, like... The animation's fine. It's okay. It looks like it's supposed to, but yeah, you're right. It's not really, like, very dynamic. They probably could have done a little bit more. They are trying to make it look like the game for the most part, and it does look like the game. But
I think the problem is that me and Chips talked about this off the podcast. They kind of just did the bare minimum to get the anime off the ground because they didn't need to go that extra because they figured, oh, we got a built-in audience already, so people will watch it anyway.
I kind of almost feel like it would have been fun to have, like... I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it, because I've definitely seen other anime go really over the top with, like, kind of mundane situations or, like, less than intense stuff, but it isn't just two people standing pointing at each other. That should not be that intense. But, like, going really crazy with it, I think there could have been a little bit more, maybe, like, dump a little bit more animation budget to, like, some more sweeping shots of them talking or doing this or that.
Something
Like,
more interesting than the
like-
static shots.
here's what
I
I
mean-
wanted. Here's what I wanted. I wanted the potato chip scene from Death Note.
Just
You know
like
what I
really
mean? Do you
dramatic.
know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yes, with the sparkles and everything.
Yeah,
And how
just
dramatic it was.
every single time they point, it should have been full-on potato chips.
Like, I needed this to be more like the live
It-
action movie.
I was
A
just
little
about
bit.
to say that.
Yeah. The live action
I was just about
movie,
to say.
very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this. I didn't really like the first episode. I thought it was a little bit slow, but I think that part of that has to do with, like, exposition and getting, like, understanding the ground rules if this is your first Ace Attorney property at all. That being said, when it gets to episode 2 and then even at episode 3, I think the pacing went up a little bit and I found myself a little more engaged. So, if overall it starts a little slow, but then it ramps up through the rest of the series and kind of, like, keeps my interest like that, I could see this getting better. But, you know, as is, this is okay out the gate. There's nothing to write home about immediately.
I don't even know what to add because I pretty much agree with everything that's already been said.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Start nitpicking.
It's just like the animation's not great, but it could be worse too. So it's kind of like it is what it is. But like you said, with like the effects and the drama, like isn't there. Like it could be more like the live action, like Yin said, because that was entertaining AF. And it just like they could have done more with that. The voices were okay, but again, it's also like you guys were saying, like Envy I think said this, that it's hard to like at some points watch it after like hearing how we voice the characters. It's sometimes I think we just do it a little more like entertaining.
That may be true, but I will say after watching this, I didn't have a sore throat, so I'm happy.
That's true. Yeah.
That's fair.
And then also going off what Chips said, it does like make it easier like for accessibility issues, like to watch an anime versus playing the game. Because I know a lot of people, like I would agree with pretty much everyone in saying play the game, like instead of watching the anime, which is the case with most video game adaptations into anime. But like yeah, like it's just sometimes visual novels I know can be a little long and winded.
We had 98 episodes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. It can be a lot.
Let me rephrase that. We had 98 episodes over 4 years.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Granted, a little inconsistent with how often we were recording, but still.
Yeah, it can be a little tedious, and like sometimes you just like, I don't want to stare at the screen anymore. And then if you don't have like the platforms to play it, there's that too. But I think it's on everything now, if I'm correct.
Yeah, for the most part, I would say, like, definitely early on, like, if you didn't have, like, a DS, you were kind of shit out of luck, because that's pretty much what most of the games were on. But now it's, like, it's on Steam, it's on the Switch, I'm pretty sure.
That's how I played it.
It was on... I played it on the Wii when I played it the first time.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That was fun.
I would say it's definitely, like, a lot more widely available than it used to be, but, like... And it's... If you don't have game systems and you don't have Steam...
You have YouTube because you're watching it right now, and you should go watch our playthrough.
Yes. Just dropping plugs everywhere.
How are we feeling about the rest of the anime? Like, what do we... you know what? Envy, 4th episode. How did this all turn out? We know how it turned out. Again, watch our playthrough. But, like, how did it feel turning out?
Well, they did the twist where Maya conjures up the spirit of Mia, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the game, does everybody see Mia, or is it just Phoenix seeing Mia, but everyone just sees Maya?
It's hard to say because everything's kind of from Phoenix's perspective. So
yeah,
she always looked that way to us.
I think that in the first game, when it happens, it's just Phoenix seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Maya channeling it for Phoenix. But in the later games, she channels it for everyone.
Okay, because
it does come up as a plot point in one of the cases.
It
does. Because in the anime, they made Mia's body morph into. They made Maya's body morph into Mia, but it's kind of weird because Mia was talking to Phoenix, and Phoenix could understand her, but I was questioning whether or not everybody else could hear her, Red, the Judge, and Miles. So that's the one thing I was kind of conflicted on, but otherwise it ended the same way it did in the game. He admitted it and all that stuff.
I'm just gonna say the spirit mediums can let whoever they want to see their channeling. Because that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
whatever works with the plot at the time.
Yeah.
Whatever works with the plot, and then let's just say we get another spirit medium at some point.
You mean you mean a spirit extra small?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much to say about that. Mia's very hot. That's still hot here.
True.
How'd you look in Maya's clothes?
Basically, the same hair as Maya, but her face and her
features
badonkers got bigger.
Badonker.
Badonkers. She got some badonkers.
Like the vocab.
Oh, excellent vocab. You get A+.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
She's my second favorite lawyer.
I want Kozi to cosplay the other medium, channeling
The
Mia.
small?
Yeah, channeling Mia.
Well, then who's gonna be Maya?
Oh.
I'll be Maya being Mia. It's the role I was born to play.
Just
Okay.
everybody channeling Mia.
Oh my god.
It's like the different skins when you're playing Smash Bros or whatever.
No, you know what I
Oh my
want?
God.
Yeah.
I want to be Phoenix channeling Mia.
Yeah.
Basically, just the Phoenix right hair, outfit, everything, except I have a huge rack.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. You know what? Honestly, nothing for nothing. This is actually not a terrible idea. We should do this. Everybody get like a pair of like balloons from Party City or something and just like fill your shirts up. We're morons, aren't we?
I mean, I think a lot of people at home are probably going to assume that, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to watch some idiots play Ace Attorney, let me tell you, I got the playlist for you. We'll link it in the description below.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else here. There's not a lot to talk about here because, honestly, we've talked about all this when we played the game. It's kind of the unfortunate thing here.
I like the opening and ending songs. I will say that. I thought they were pretty boppy.
They were nice.
Good, yeah.
Did anyone else feel the opening, like, ends really abruptly and then the episode starts?
A little bit.
I feel like there should have been, like, a second delay as the music fades out, but it's just like, music, nope.
So typically, I mean, normally don't they have that little like commercial disclaimer thingy in between those things?
Oh man, you're talking some old pirate sites.
Yeah, but I think they might still have those now, don't they?
Yeah. In Japan, there are they don't show them on Crunchyroll or High Dive, but there are little beeps of like 5 to 10 seconds where like to basically let you know commercials ending, the show's back on.
Or even just like, hey, here are our sponsors for this episode. Whatever.
Does anyone remember what they say? Kagome wa sponsor
Tekyo de okurishimashita.
Yeah.
The last little part is what I remember the most.
Yeah.
I can't say the words, but I know what it was. And they'd have all that text running across the screen.
Oh, good times. Back when YouTube had anime.
Yes. Oh god, I feel old.
So weird to think about.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
When you could find Disney movies on YouTube.
So true.
You still can, you just have to pay.
That doesn't count.
I mean,
it's not the same.
In multiple parts.
Yeah, you could find them in like 15 parts before.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do we have any other thoughts here? Like, we could go into how this legal system makes no sense at all, but again, we already done that.
We did that in the games and in the live action movies.
So. Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Still makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. I don't know what else to say here. I mean, do we just want to go around say our final thoughts?
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
I was gonna give it a light nay. It's not bad. But I think I'm overall going to give it a meh, because I actually do think the plot and the pacing ramped up a little bit, and I could see this finishing stronger than it started. So for now, I'm just going to give it a meh. The game, definitely better, but this isn't, like, as bad as I was expecting. And some of the dub voices do make it kind of fun for me.
Kind of going off of what you said for your reasons, I'm also a meh for it. Don't get me wrong, I love Ace Attorney, but the games are obviously a hard yay, but the anime it's not as great, so just a meh.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I would give it like a light nay to a meh, probably leaning a little bit more meh. It just like, I don't know, wasn't super interesting to me, and I feel like I enjoy the games way better. The games are very much a yay for me, but I wasn't thrilled by these episodes.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have to give it a meh. I say it serves a purpose for, people who aren't gamers and for people who, aren't really good with text-based games, because I'm sure it really helps them out a lot. But as far as, presentation and adaptation standpoint, I feel like it could do, a lot better. So I would definitely say it's squarely in the middle for this one.
I'll give it a light yay. I think as far as, adapting the story to an anime, I think it does a decent job. It's just my only really major complaint is the lackluster animation. And this, I know the first season came out in 2016, but even then, the studio that made the anime, AYoN Pictures, love it or hate this show, it made Sword Art Online, and Sword Art Online is a very gorgeous show. So they have the capabilities and they have the budget of making a good show. They just probably didn't get enough resources from Capcom to make the game, make the anime that good looking. So that's why I give it a light yay. But it's I guess it's an alright alternative if you can get past it.
Yeah, I guess it's like a meh to light yay. Like just play the game.
Or watch us play the game.
Watch a playthrough.
Watch a playthrough with people voicing the characters.
Yeah, this is like last resort. Yeah, go to AO3.
Yeah. Find the Aerosmith fic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if someone on AO3 or fanfiction.net actually basically novelized the games at this point, so
I think that might actually hit on some kind of copyright, though.
It might, but I've seen people do it with a lot of things, so... but the thing is that they're also not making money off of it.
Yeah, but that doesn't always mean... There's a lot of sticky stuff that goes beyond that.
So if they added some scenes of Miles and Phoenix together, then it would be considered transformative, so then it could be
Possibly. Don't know. I would have to read them to really know. I'm gonna do my research.
I can give you some good suggestions.
Oh yeah.
For your research.
Off the podcast. So anyway,
I could give you some bad suggestions. I read it all.
Hey, on the podcast. All right. No, yeah. So we're going to be continuing with Video Game Adaptation Month. Next week, what are we doing? We're doing Gosh Darn Rampa. That's how it's said. I say it right. Dang on Rampa, goddamn Rampa. I'll figure it out at some point. I'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so Dang Gum Rampa, Persona 4, and Angels of Death coming up this month. And yeah, come watch. Yeah, these are based on games. Come watch. We played 2 of these games. Maybe we'll play the other 2. Who knows? Anything could happen, man. Maybe we're just gonna read you bad fan fiction from now on. Seriously, if you want us to do that, we'll do it. We'll do it. I mean, what have we got to lose at this point, right? So, anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!